Well, good morning everybody and welcome back to the channel. It's the start of another week and here we are with the first review of this week. We're in North Africa. We're in the country of Algiers, or Algeria rather, and this is Algiers International Airport. Houari Boumediene, I probably didn't say that right. International Airport in Algiers, Delta Alpha Alpha Golf. This is a payware scenery by Net Design. It's a new developer that I've not seen before, but that I've had some conversations with recently, and very kindly sent me a copy for review. He's updated this scenery and he's working on more updates. We're currently looking at version 1.4 for the PC version of Flight Sim 2020. The download comes in at 1.6 gig and it stalls at 2.98 gigs, so just under 3 gig, and there are two folders. There's a scenery folder and there's the main folder, both of which should go into the community folder. It's available currently from SimMarket and from AnyBuilds. I'll give you the SimMarket price because VAT tax is included. They're selling it at €28.79, which equates to roughly $31.27 US, or £24.62 UK. US and UK prices are all estimates taken from the euro, and they do include tax or VAT at 20%, which of course may vary depending on which country you're in when you make your purchase. So as I said, this is version 1.4 currently. I was wondering whether the price might be a bit high. It's a very top end version. It's a very top end of the sort of prices we pay for scenery these days. So we're going to have a good look around and see what's been done and see whether it actually commands that price. But for the moment, let's look at the key features that he says are included in this scenery. Okay, the key features here in Algiers. You have 4 bespoke terminals and many buildings such as the train station, hotel and others. High technical accuracy thanks to much input from the Algerian simulation community and aviation professionals. So he's consulted quite widely for this scenery. Exceptionally high levels of detail such as hundreds of custom tarmac markings or the correct tail signs on the permanently stranded derelict Sun Air 737s. And we'll have a look at those, see if we can find them. Very high resolution PBR textures ensuring no loss of detail even when viewing up close. Multiple texture layers simulating dirt and wear and tear in key areas. See-through interiors optimized to be glimpsed from outside but lighter on performance than typical large airports. High performance or high frame rate performance even with AI traffic enabled, achieved by using LOD and middle out compression, and carefully applied night lighting to showcase the glass terminals. So we'll be able to check out some of these claims in the key features and see just how good they are. In the meantime, let's get on to some history. So, some history for you. Houari Boumediene International Airport, or Delta Alpha Alpha Golf, also known as Algiers Airport or Algiers International Airport, is a public use international airport operated by EGSA of Algiers and serving Algiers, the capital of Algeria. The airport is located 10 miles, or 16.7 kilometers, east-southeast of the city and is named after Houari Boumediene, a former president of Algeria from 1932 to 1978. Dar el Baida, the area where the airport is located, was known as Maison Blanche, or the White House, and the airport is called Maison Blanche Airport in much of the literature about the Algerian War of Independence. The airport was created in 1924 and named Maison Blanche Airport. During World War II, Maison Blanche was a primary objective of the Allied Operation Torch Eastern Task Force in November of 1942 and was seized by a combination of the United States Army units, British commandos and elements of a British infantry division. Opposition by Vichy French forces who defended the airport ended that same day, as orders from Admiral Darlan in Algiers were issued to cease all hostilities in North Africa. Once in Allied hands, the airport was used by the United States Army Air Force's Air Transport Command as a major transshipment hub for cargo, transiting aircraft and personnel. It functioned also as a stopover en route to Tarafki Airport near Oran, or to Tunis Airport in Tunisia on the North African Cairo-Dakar transport route. It also flew personnel and cargo to Marseille, Milan, Naples and Palermo. Terminal 1, the domestic terminal, has a capacity of 6 million passengers a year. It was inaugurated in July of 2006 by President Abdelaziz Bouteflika. The terminal holds 5,000 car parking spaces, a taxi stand, a boarding area of 27,000 square meters, and 14 passenger gates. Hall 2 in Terminal 1 is dedicated to domestic flights, whereas Hall 1 is dedicated to the Middle East and Gulf Airlines. Terminal 2, the charter terminal, renovated in 2007, has a capacity of 2.5 million passengers per year. It offers conditions of comfort and security comparable to those in Terminal 1. Terminal 2 is equipped with 20 check-in desks with a cafeteria, tea room and a prayer room, as well as a pharmacy, perfumery, hairdresser, watch retailers, luggage shops, games, toys and a tobacco newspaper shop. So there you are, yet another airport that was used extensively during the World War, and since then has been updated, and obviously now our task is to see just how good this scenery is. So that was some useful history for you. Let's have a look at the runways at this airport now. Okay, so runways. Algiers Airport operates 2 runways, 0927 and 0523, both measuring 11,483 feet or 3,500 meters. Both runways are constructed from asphalt. The airport lies at an elevation of 82 feet or 25 meters and sits within the GMT UTC plus 1 hour time zone. Now, Algeria does not observe daylight saving time or DST, and since the UK is now on British summer time, we've gone 1 hour ahead. The airport is now on the same time as the UK. In winter, obviously, we go back to GMT, and then the airport is 1 hour ahead of us. So runways, let's start with runway 09 in the Far East, and we're looking down the throat of it now. According to the charts, it has high intensity runway lighting, high intensity airfield lighting, touchdown zone lighting and precision approach path indicators on the left side. So this is all correct. The approach lighting is as per the charts. There's the PAPIs on the left, you've got the high intensity runway lighting, and there you've got touchdown zone lighting as well. So this is all absolutely correct, it's pretty good. This runway also has a high-speed turn-off available at exit Juliet 3, which is further down the runway. Approach is available for this runway when you have an instrument landing system, a standard one. You also have BOR and NDB options on that as well. So let's check out the other end, runway 27. So here we are looking down the throat of runway 27, the other end. It's just after 7:30 in the evening, and as you can see the sun's going down quite nicely. So runway 27 has the same high intensity runway lighting and the same high intensity airfield lighting as the other end, and you have PAPIs on the left hand side, and again all correct. No approach lighting at this runway, and that's also as per the charts. However, approaches here, you do have an instrument landing system and a VOR approach option. And for those of you who are interested, there you can see the VOR station literally right in front of the runway, which is very useful. Okay, so let's have a look at runway 05. So here we are looking down the throat of runway 05, which features high intensity runway lighting, high intensity airfield lighting system, centerline lighting, and precision approach path indicators on the left side. Once again, this is all absolutely correct. No approach lighting shown on the chart, but here you've got the high intensity lighting, the center line there, and the PAPIs on the left, so that's all correct. This runway features a VOR approach option only, so there's no instrument landing system on this runway. So lastly, let's check out the other end, runway 23. So here we are looking down the throat of runway 23, which features high intensity runway lighting, high intensity airfield lighting system version 2, centerline lighting, touchdown zone lighting, and again PAPIs on the left side. So as you can see, it's all as per the charts, including the approach lighting system here. There's the centerline lighting, touchdown zone, Pappy's on the left, and the full intensity lighting here. You also again have a high-speed turn-off available at exit Delta 4. Approaches for this runway, you have a standard instrument landing system, and you also have a VOR approach option. So one of the very rare things here, there's normally something wrong with many of the airports I look at, but this airport has everything as per the charts. It's completely accurate on every runway end, so very impressive. So let's get to the Jetway test. Okay, so Jetways, so here we are on stand Whiskey 8 at the main terminal. First thing to show you, I've spawned directly from the menu, and probably for the first time in a while, the aircraft is right on the 737 marker, which is really good. That's a good start. Okay, so let's try the Jetway now. Okay, stairs have gone into the concrete again, but no issue. Wheels are turning nicely. That's a good animation actually, a really good animation. And the hood goes over the top, and from here that looks pretty impressive. Let's get a closer look. And from there you can see there's an almost perfect connection, top and bottom, and the hood hasn't gone through the skin, which is really impressive. Let's check from the other side. And that's pretty good, that's pretty close. It's not right on the aircraft, but you know, it's good enough. Certainly what I like about this Jetway connection, here you can see the rubber butt that goes up against the aircraft side when the Jetway connects to prevent damage to the Jetway and to the aircraft. That's right on the aircraft there, which is impressive. So let's look inside now. So here we are inside the Jetway, and as you can see, that's almost as close a connection as you're going to get really. There's the butt right up against the side of the aircraft, apart from this bit here. The sides of the hood haven't gone into the skin, which is excellent, and you've got this clearance bit at the top, which to be honest is what you would see at most real life Jetways. It's not a problem at all. I've got a feeling though that when we open the door it might impinge the hood, but anyway, let's give it a go. Well, that's close. I mean, that's not bad. It's almost perfect, apart from the fact that it's gone into the side here. But you know what? It's great. That's really good. So let's look out from the inside. And there you can see the closed end of the Jetway doors. And I mean, the Jetway connection is pretty good here, and this would be quite acceptable. As for the Jetway itself, I mean, the condition is excellent. It's really nice. The misted glass is very effective. The wheels have a protective cover, which you don't see in too many sceneries, but you do see from time to time at various airports around the world, these protective bars. Very impressive. Okay, so let's disconnect the Jetway. So as ever, the hood springs back. And again, quite a nice animation really, certainly while the wheels are concerned. And that's as far back as it goes. And the door's closed. So that was the Jetway test done for you. So as ever, let's get down to this airport really up close and personal and see just how good it is. So welcome back. Let's start the main tour and examine this airport closely. Before we start, one of the things I have to say that I like about this airport is two things really. One, how well it fits into the terrain, and the other thing is how well it fits into the local sort of photogrammetry. It's often very difficult to tell what he's added and what basically exists in the default before you've started it, and that makes it look really quite good. And he's softened a lot of the colouring. Remember, we're in the high summer now. It's late May 2024, and I mean, the airport looks pretty real. So we're going to start from the northeast end. This is runway 23 you were looking at, where we ended our check of the runways, and we'll do a tour airside all the way down, and before we go and have a close-up look at the airport itself. So as you can see, runway, taxiway textures, ground textures, they all look pretty good. They really do. And there you have some vehicles and some work going on down there. And if you look to the right there, you can see work that he's done and the default sitting side by side. And looking very good, I have to say. A couple of helicopter bases down there. Get a bit lower, slow it down a little bit. Some very nice placement of trees and foliage. Big hangars there too. So staying airside for the moment, you can see, and then when the work that's been done is quite good, really is quite good. And the buildings all look pretty accurate as well. So you've got a control tower on the right. We'll come back and have a look at that in a minute. Here's one of the terminals and all the jetways. And now you've got this very unique, interesting building here. It's an amazing sort of building, roof structure, and the glass from here certainly looks amazing. So here we are heading out across the western apron on the Papa stands towards runway 09 threshold in the far east distance there. And again, some nice work down there. That looks like the VIP terminal. And here again to the right, you can see how the scenery blends into the default, and you get a pretty seamless integration. Here's the fuel farm, and again the grass, ground textures all look really nice, very realistic. More work going on here. Taxiway all looks pretty impressive. And it just looks really nice, really does. So I raise up a little higher, and there you can see the threshold of 09 to the left. And here we come to the edge of the scenery. And again, you reach the point here where you don't know where the default scenery starts and the product ends, but we're looking at some nice buildings here, some of which could have been added. Really can't say for certain, but it looks great, and it brings this place to life. Okay, so we're taking a close look at the western side of the big pier. As you can see, the stands are fully equipped. You're not going to have any problem in terms of parking up when you do this at all. And you know, I like the way this building has been done. It looks pretty realistic. Let's get up close. As you can see, the stand markings are excellent. So we get up close to the windows here. Let's go in. And yes, we've got internal development, but as you can see, it's very, in many cases, it's certainly in this part, it's a bit basic. But then that's fine. He hasn't gone to town inside, and it's been mentioned. But what you see, of course, is ripe for development. And once again, you go up close to the signage, and just as they've said in the features, everything's eminently readable. It's brilliant. And for those of you who have it, there's the visual guidance docking system. So going across the top of this amazing roof, it looks pretty impressive. Now we get to the other terminal here. And once again, it looks great. Ground clutter as it should be. Not too much, but just the right amount. And it looks fine. It looks really good. So let's go have a look at the control tower. Again, a beautifully modelled building here, set in its own little area. Oh, it's a lovely tower, whatever you think of it, it's lovely. And there you are, developed inside with the required computers and desktops and a couple of controllers as well. Very nice indeed. Now, it is a pretty stunning building. I love the palm trees. So here we are, just going further northeast, looking at some of the other buildings. And you've got buses. And that may well be an old control tower, I don't know. There's a clock on the side. I wonder if the time is the same. Okay, so our simulator clock says 12:17. And the clock on the side of the building also shows 12:17. Brilliant. Very, very good. So there's the fire station. Again, some nice models. And some lovely, really lovely detailed buildings here. And again, we continue northeast, and you've got these other hangars. Open ones as well, so you could position your aircraft inside if you want to. Very nice. Beautifully constructed and beautifully modelled. And there you have a couple more, also nicely modelled. And yeah, big enough I think to put an Airbus in there. Excellent. So we're coming across to this side. Got a helicopter pad there that's marked out. And again, more hangars, parking spaces. Excellent. So once again, another open hangar, plenty of bits and pieces in there, plus there's a helicopter. And here you've got another Air Algeria hangar, and it looks like an A330 there inside. And indeed it is. An Airbus A330 Air Algeria sitting inside the hangar, and the hangar's nicely developed, really nice. So here are the two stranded derelict Sun Air 737s, and again all the markings on them are correct, as indeed was mentioned in the features. So here's a view looking landside of the big hangar we just looked at with the 330 inside, and as you can see we're close to the default here on the right hand side, but again some nice development and some nice integration even with what's sitting there in terms of default scenery. So, you know, landside, all the little bits haven't been forgotten. And there, just a close-up view of one of these landside buildings. I mean, the detail is excellent. Look, you've got the little balconies there, and you can see the curtains in the windows. This is the sort of detail you expect from a top developer. So we track sort of southwest now back towards the main terminal area, looking at landside, and as you can see, plenty of development, loads of detail, and again it's really hard to tell which is default and which is stuff that he's added. It's beautifully integrated. And landside, I mean, looks wonderful. I mean, look at this. Very impressive indeed. So I'm starting to think that the prices probably worth it. There's a lot of work. I'm not sure if he's a one-man band, but just look at the detail. The trees are wonderful. So here we come to landside of the terminal. It's one of the terminals. So look at the upper level. And again, beautifully modelled, 3D, all high resolution. The only thing that seems to be missing here is people. Oh, there's a couple there. But it's nice. Okay, so there are some people. It's very, very good. So here we are on the lower level. And again, look, you've even got the railings, the stairwells. It's brilliant, it really is. Couple of buses. Well, it really does look wonderful. So again, if you look down at the car parks, I mean, pretty much the cars are pretty much in their places. One or two out of spots, but you can't knock it. The detail is really good. It's done a great job. So there down to the right, you've got the walkway that connects the terminal to the hotel. This is the Hyatt Regency Hotel. Again, it looks very, very nice. Beautifully modelled. It's really impressive. So there you've got the welcome sign in both Algerian and English. And just some of the landside development here. I mean, it looks beautiful. So it's as you get into places like this, you start to see the detail and the work that's gone into this. Then you start to appreciate why they're asking the price that they're asking. I mean, this is really impressive. See, all the foliage has been correctly placed. It's clearly been hand placed. And all of this is done in 3D. It's really impressive. And we go back to airside. Okay, so that was a daytime tour of the airport for you. Let's lower the lighting to dusk now and have a look at the night lighting. And we'll also pop ourselves inside one of the terminals and see how that looks too. Okay, 5 minutes to 8 PM in the evening. And here you can see the lighting came on about 5 minutes ago. And it looks pretty good, doesn't it? Very subtle everywhere you look here. As you look out to runway 09 threshold in the distance, here you've got green centerline taxiway lights everywhere as well, and the blue airfield edge lights. So navigating the taxiway shouldn't be too difficult. Once again, not an asobo globe in sight, all the lighting provided by the correct lamps, and the right amount of subtleness, I would think. It looks pretty impressive. And they're looking to the northeast, that's the threshold of 23 in the distance. Centerline lighting, plenty of signage, all correctly lit as well. And again, these outer stands all have their own individual lighting. So here we are looking at the control tower. You've got the outer red lights blinking away, and the mandatory ones on the top as well. Quick view from the outside. And there's a view from the inside. The lighting is a little bit strong inside here, such that you can't really see an awful lot outside the windows. But no, it looks great. It looks perfectly acceptable. And there's a nice shot from a slightly higher level showing you airside on the left, with the stands all lit quite nicely, and then to the right you've got landside. So let's have a little look landside and see what the lighting's like. I'm trying to see whether those are globes or whether they're actual lighting. So this little VIP building here, we've got some globes sitting around here, but no, it's fine. So we have a little past landside and have a look at the lighting generally. Okay, we do have some Asobo globes floating around, but I'm not complaining really, it's okay. The subtleness of the lighting here is really quite impressive. So coming along the landside walkway here. So we're just going landside of the terminal here, just to have a look. I mean, I would like to see some more passengers, but then maybe that's something he's going to do. Like I said, this is version 1.4. The scenery does seem to be under continued development and improvement, which is something I like. There's the stairwell escalators going down. And here you've got a couple of people. So let's go inside the terminal. Beautiful glass effects, they really are nice. So once again, a limited interior, no people, no check-in desks or anything like that, but again, ripe for development. And it's just really nice. The building structure is really excellent. You know, this is really ripe for improvement and additions that you need to see more inside, but it looks great, and you've got one or two people, which is good. It's a little bit bright here, a little bit overdone in terms of brightness, but as you can see, beautifully modelled and constructed, and signage inside there as well. And you can see there are the odd person here and there. There's one guy in the red jumper down there to the left. I mean, I get that this is probably the limit of what he wants so far. He wants to go at the moment, but to be honest, I really would like to see more. But who knows? What we're looking at is really good. There's no question about it. And once again, beautiful clear signage right up close. Very impressive. So let's have a close-up look at airside now. Here's my aircraft parked on stand Whiskey 8, and you can see in through the glass there as well. In fact, let's have a look from the flight deck. So here we are inside the PMDG 737-800. This is the view straight out of the flight deck. There's a view from the captain's side, and looking out through the first officer's side. Oh, it looks great. It really does. The only thing I think maybe I'd like to see a bit more in terms of animations, buses and vehicles going by. Just like maybe to see a little bit more, but it looks great. Really, there's no problem at all. So there's a close-up view looking through the windows of the terminal, and you can see these passengers are animated. So great, you know, little surprises everywhere you look. So a quick look outside here at the other terminal. Oh, it looks great in the sunset, doesn't it? And the lighting is lovely. So let's just have a look at some of the other features airside. There you can see taxiway sort of lighting. Looks great. Here I think is the VIP terminal. That looks great, it really does. The flags are not animated, which is a pity, but they're there, so no real complaints. There's the building from landside. No lighting really, which is a bit of a surprise considering you've got the car park there. But no, it's fine. The modelling is wonderful, really can't escape the fact that it's impressive. So a quick look at some of the taxiway signage. Again, lighting's not a problem, it looks good. So here's the high-speed exit from runway 09 when you land here, touch down and come this way. This is Juliet 3, the high-speed exit. And again, the signage and lighting is fine, no problem at all with that. And there it is from the other side. And there's a high-level shot showing you the airport in all its glory, and the lighting does look very impressive, particularly with the default lighting as well. And remember, he's done work on other items out here. We've got the hotel and other areas off airport that fit in with the default in a masterful way. Got nothing but good things to say about that. So let's drop the lighting down to night time now. Okay, 10:30 in the evening local time, and as you can see the lighting has come up a bit more, and it really does look quite impressive. Still quite subtle, but strong enough where it needs to be. There, looking towards the threshold of runway 09, got the fuel farm down here, and various bits of lighting in the default areas. Some of this has been added, some of it is default, but it's beautifully done. There's a big project here. So let's get down to the ramp and see what the lighting looks like for you when you park up. So here's the stand, Whiskey 8, there's my aircraft parked on it. Really no problem with lighting at all, it looks great. And once again the other terminal, it also looks really impressive. It's great to be able to see through the glass in the way that it has, it's really good. So a quick pass over to landside. I thought we'd take a quick look at the hotel. And as you can see, you've got this tungsten style yellowish lighting landside. This is used at a lot of airports, it's very common. And again, some really good signage. The hotel's nicely lit, but the windows are dark, which is a pity. But it looks nice, and it's lit landside, which is good. As we head back towards the airport, there you can see this work that's been done on the ground. And all of these little features. I mean, it looks great. Control towers flashing away there to the left. And it's very nice indeed. So as we approach this terminal landside, very nice indeed. Okay, so that was night time. Hopefully I'm in the right position. Let's turn it up to dawn and see what the buildings look like as the dawn comes up. Okay, 5:45 a.m. and here we are looking towards the west, sun behind us, and here's the scene as the sun comes up. It's beautiful, it's really nice. The glow on the buildings looks great, and the airport wakes up and comes to life. It's very, very impressive. And then we are looking southeast. You got the sun rising there on the left, the mountains on the right, and it looks beautiful. And then looking across to the sea, you've got the hangars down there. It's great. It's no real complaints. It's lovely. Okay, it's an hour later, 6:45 a.m. Time to give you my thoughts and conclusions. There's always a bit of a question mark in my head and other people's heads when you look at the scenery at this price. This is the top end of the pricing. I have to remember that it includes tax, so that's obviously an important feature, certainly for some people, and myself included. So we're looking at nearly 29 euros here, or nearly $32, which is quite a lot. If I remember correctly, one of the most expensive sceneries at the moment is the Hong Kong scenery by WF Studios, which is about the same price. I would argue that there is more detail here, but I like this. And if you want the best Algiers scenery, this is it. It just looks so good. The airport fits so well with what's going on around it that it looks pretty real. You could operate in and out of here and really enjoy yourself. In terms of pilots, airside, everything you need is there. GSX profile is available as well for those users who use GSX. You've got several huge open hangars to the right hand side for people that want to maybe operate cargo flights or park aircraft. Yeah, it's nice. It's really impressive. This is version 1.4, and I believe he does continue to develop. So yeah, what would I like to see? Obviously, I'd like to see more internal development in the terminals, the eye candy. He's done such a great job of the buildings, it'd be a shame not to add the people and more signage and just develop it more. And I believe that can be done, really, without affecting the frame rates these days. You've only got to look at some of the people and some of the various models available on flightsim.to that can be used that really do not hit the frame rate at all. So yeah, I'd like to see a few more people landside and airside. It'd be nice to see a couple of more animated vehicles and some engineers here and there. I don't know, but that's certainly an improvement I would like to see. Perhaps a little bit more clutter. But the airport itself is beautifully constructed. There's a lot of work gone into this. You look at the 3D modelling landside. Well, those car parks are huge. Okay, tidy up the cars a little bit. Some of them are out of spot. In general, the key features that have been shown, he lives up to them. The frame rate's fine. I've not had any issues with the camera. And, the wear and tear on the airport looks great. Certainly at the moment, this is the best version of Algiers you're going to get. And the beauty of it is it fits in with the terrain so well and the city there. Whether you take off and land here day or night, it's going to be beautiful. But I like it. I like it a lot. It's ripe for further development. I hope he continues the work on it. I would like to see more people and more sort of eye candy, as it were. He started so well with the signage. They're so clear when they're up close. I mean, if you're looking at that level of modelling, in continuing along the airport, you've got something approaching fly tamper capability here. It's not there yet, but there's the potential for it to be. So yes, okay, 29 euros, $32. The price is high, no question about that. But if you want the best version of Algiers, this is it. I would look out for some sales. Who knows, maybe this airport will come up in a sale and you'll be able to get it for a cheaper price. There's no mistaking that it is a high price. But when you look at the work that's been done, particularly if this is a one-man band, I'm not sure if he's a team of people or whether it's one just himself. But there's a lot of work that's gone in here. And you could argue that the high price is justified. I always tend to worry when I look at prices this high. I would probably go out and buy this because it is as good as it is. But whether or not you feel like paying that price for this, I leave that decision up to you. And there's more to explore here. I've tried to keep this video not too long, but there's so much to see. This is a large project, and hopefully continue updates and development. So there you go, folks. Houari Boumediene Airport in Algiers, Delta Alpha Alpha Golf. Payware scenery by Net Design. Currently this is version 1.4 for the PC version of Flight Simulator 2020. The download comes in at 2 folders, downloads at 1.6 gig, and installs you have 2 folders totaling just under 3 gig. Currently available from SimMarket and InnyBuilds. Give you the SimMarket price because they include taxes. €28.79, which equates to roughly $31.27 US, or £24.62 UK. Those prices are estimates taken from the euro price, and they include tax or VAT, which of course could vary depending on your country of purchase. I like the scenery. It's the best version of Algiers yet, ripe for continual development, which I hope he will do. Yes, it's on the expensive side, but I leave that up to you as to whether you think it's worth it. So there you go. Thank you very much for joining me. Hope you enjoyed the review. My apologies to Net Design for the delay in getting the review out. I wanted firstly to see if they were going to update it anymore, and also just to try and fit it in because it's such a large project. Stay with me this week. We're going to look at Dubrovnik by Davor Pulisic. Some of you may remember him from his sceneries for P3D and FSX, but he's now done Dubrovnik for Flight Sim 2020, and it looks pretty good, so we're going to be doing that. And I'm also going to try and fit in a review of Humberside by Fly Tampa. They've just released Humberside, again complete with a GXX profile, and I'm going to test that as well because I don't think there are any jetways at Humberside, but I looked in the Virtuali folder, the GSX folder, and I can't see a profile file for Humberside, and yet Fly Tampa said it's included, so it's either hard coded or it's missing, but we'll have a look at that anyway. So Humberside by Fly Tampa, I'm going to try and review that and get that in this week. But next we'll be looking at Dubrovnik, so stay with me. Hope you enjoy it, and also thank you for joining me and for your support. It's really appreciated. So this is Lee, your virtual airline pilot, signing off for the moment. I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.